Alright, what's up guys? Hopefully you came here from the video on my main channel where I was creating the smell of rain, or attempted I guess, did my best. Um, so yeah, this is an extended video for those of you who are interested. It's going to be pretty long probably. I'm not going to really cut this other than like big cuts, and then also no B-roll, stuff like that. Pretty tired of editing my last video, but nonetheless, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to go over is basically. Oh yeah, sorry. Also, sorry if I'm awkward in front of the camera. I'm used to having like a little script in front of me, so bear with me here. Okay, so, all right, so there's fur on my mic. Sorry, looks like an Ewok. Okay. First things first, we're going to be going through basically what is in there, why I put it in there, and then, wait, I will be giving you the actual concentrations. I have a little app going, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, basically, I'm just going to be showing you the concentrations, and then I'm also going to actually walk through the process of me making one. So hopefully you find there's going to be little portions of the video. I don't suggest watching the whole thing unless you want to, but hopefully you'll find what you're looking for. So let's start. First things first, the core ingredient that I put in, geosmin. So this is geosmin at 1% dilution. If you don't know what dilutions are, that's basically, this is 1% geosmin and then 99% ethanol. I don't know, I bought these all from Perfumer's Apprentice. I'm not sure, I assume they use 200 proof ethanol. I'm not totally sure though. So first one, geosmin. This is a little 4 milliliter. I'm going to have to buy a bigger one because I'm going to be making some soon. And then, yeah, that's basically the wet soil smell, like the biggest component of it. However, it doesn't smell wet. You know, like it doesn't smell a little damp enough. It smells like soil for sure, but not damp enough to me for it to smell really like rain. Some people say it smells like rain, whatever. A few cool things about geosmin. Female mosquitoes can smell it. Humans are super sensitive to it. About, I think, 2 teaspoons in a 200-ton size Olympic swimming pool, and we would still be able to detect it. So, very sensitive. It's like 1 part for 4 billion or something. I don't know. But we're super sensitive to it. Camels are too. Anyways. Directs us towards wet soil, I guess. Again, I explained what it is in the video. There's a lot more about it. I'm not going to get into it though, because this isn't a science video, even though I love talking about it in science. This is more of a perfumer's video. So, next, I thought, okay, I have this. So I was searching online looking for a lot of different things, and the first one that I found is Aquamate. This is the same as Affirmate. This basically adds a to me a little ozonic, a little watery. It adds like a watery smell, and a little bit ozonic, in my opinion, which is like the ozone smell. I really like the Aquamate. I wish I could have had more of that in the final accord, but it just was too overpowering for some reason. But I really love it, and I might try some new renditions and stuff where I have more of that in there. Next, I decided to put in some terpenes. So these are like greens, right? So like, geosmin's actually technically a terpene, but I didn't treat it as one. Just because by terpenes in this video I mean like green stuff. So, myrcene. I don't think I have this in the final accord because it supposedly causes cancer in California, but maybe I do. And if I do, unfortunately, that means I can't sell it to you Californians. So, next we have terpinolene. Terpinolene is another terpene. These are just terpenes. These are at a super light dose. I will show you later. Really good. Smells kind of lemony, you know, just kind of zesty, kind of green. Next, the second biggest component I would say is fluoralazone. Fluoralazone's at a pretty high concentration. This is an attempt to get the ozone smell. And it does smell pretty ozonic. My only issue with fluoralazone is I really want to put more of it in there, but it overpowers I don't know how, but it overpowers the geosmin sometimes. So there's a small amount in there, but I really wish I could have an actual big lab so I could really experiment more. But from my experience, this is a key component if you want that ozonic smell. Next, I actually bought, when I first made it, the video, I shortened everything, and I filmed everything within like 2 days for the video. So you have no idea that it really took me so long. And I actually only bought 5 raw materials at first, and then it wasn't good enough for me, so I bought more. And so I'm going to show you the more that I bought. I ended up buying beta pinene, which is a pine smell. Doesn't make a difference. I still put it in there, but according to my calculations, it doesn't make a huge difference. But I keep it in there anyways. Oak moss. I've had a lot of unfortunate experiences with oak moss. I'm kind of allergic to it. Most people are. This is at 10%. It still makes me a little bit itchy, but in the final chord, it's at like 0.0008%. So really what the oak moss does is it kind of dirties the scent up to me. Like it makes it a little dirty and more natural smelling. And I use that to balance what I'm going to show you next. ISO E Super. This might be a little controversial for a petrichor accord, which is what this rain smell is called. The reason I use this is because it felt so volatile. Like when I first made it, it was just so like it would just disappear quickly. There was no depth to it, and I was looking into it, and ISO E Super at a small amount can bring out other scents, but not really, make it too strong. Weird thing is, I can't smell ISO E Super. I don't know what it is. I actually can't smell it. All my siblings can. I genuinely can't smell it, so I don't know what's wrong there. Then I got Cashmere. I got this because I really wanted that wet cement smell. I wanted a bit more of the ground scent that comes from the scent of rain. This is very sandalwoody kind of, I guess. It's woody. But a lot of colognes, when I was doing my research, that smell similar to rain have this in it. And this really added a good aspect, in my opinion. It really deepened it and made it not just smell super light. Because like the geosmin, the terpinolene, myrcene, the fluoralazone, they're all kind of these light scents. So adding that in there really created depth. Same with the ISO E Super. Next, I added in a little bit of Terrasol. This is similar to Terranol, but this has patchouli in it. So I didn't add a lot of it because, in my opinion, this is kind of perfumey smelling, and it makes it smell a bit more perfumey. It basically smells like geosmin, but more perfumey. I added a little bit in there just for some extra depth and whatnot, but really doesn't make a huge difference. Yeah. Lastly, this actually isn't in the final chord that you see in the video. Methyl litone. So this smells like coconuts, basically. And I'm actually going to make a second rendition of this. I might not even make a video about it, but I'm actually going to add the methyl litone in. It makes it smell really good, but I don't think it makes it smell like the mountain rain that I want it to smell like. But if I try and turn this accord into an actual perfume, I would 100% add methyl litone. One of my favorites that I've found. So yeah, that is everything that's in there, and I have dilutions everywhere and things like that. So I'm going to go through the formula, and then we will go ahead and make it. All right, I might put a little screenshot. I might put a little screenshot up there on the screen, so you can read along with me. This is on an app called Formulaire, which is by Sam Macer, who's a perfumer, and I watched his videos. He's how I learned how to do this. He made a petrichor cord as well. Mine's a little bit similar, but actually mine's a lot similar. Mine's pretty similar, but I have very different concentrations. And I have more materials that I put in. Yeah. Anyways, this is my 1% scaled. So I originally made it, I can't remember what percent it was, but this is at 1%. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay. So this is at 2%. I believe this is my final one. So what I have in here is I have Aquamate at 10% dilution. And so I start off, I have 3.5 grams of perfumer's alcohol. It's over there, but I use 190 proof. I couldn't buy 200 proof. I'm 18. I'm not 21. So I couldn't find an easy way. So I could find 190 proof pretty easily just on Amazon. Anyway, so 3.5 grams of that. This is in a 5 grams, by the way, and it ends up being, well, 4.9 grams, but 2% concentration. I have Aquamate in there at 10%. It's 0.17 grams. I have B-pinene at 10% with 0.17 grams. Cashmerin at 0.042 grams. Again, that's about 2 drops of 10% diluted cashmerin. This is because, again, I really wanted to have the cashmerin add to the scent, but not take over in any way. So it's really just kind of that back base note sort of thing. Then I have Floralizone at 10%, and we have 0.17 grams in there. So you can see a lot of 0.17. And then we have Geosmin 1%, and I have that at 0.421 grams. So the reason that's so high is, if you watched the video, what I was struggling with is Geosmin really is what makes up the scent. And the bad thing that I was doing is I was adding in so much of this other stuff, it would just smell, it wouldn't blend well together. And it wouldn't add to the Geosmin, it would like make it smell like a perfume. But lowering everything else and increasing the Geosmin, even though Geosmin's so powerful, it really allowed just everything to blend. That sort of less is more, right? And it added to the Geosmin and made the Geosmin smell more watery, more earth, more stone, more dirty, and ozonic without overpowering. Because I think, to me personally, the Geosmin's the most rain-smelling one in there. However, I do want to make an accord where the Floralizone is actually the main scent. I think that would be interesting. Next, ISO-E Super at 10%, and I have, again, 0.042 grams, so it's about 2.5 drops. Again, ISO-E Super, it's there as a base to bring everything else out, not to take over, so I kept it pretty low. Then we have Myrcene at 10%. And I put 0.17 grams in there. And then Oak Moss at 1%, 0.04 grams. That's because I think the Oak Moss, again, I didn't want it to be super powerful just because of allergies. And then also it's dark. I didn't want my thing to be dark. And I think that the 0.04 grams is enough to add the dirtiness but not take over. But I would like to experiment with a little more Oak Moss, I think. Next we have Turbinolene 10%, 0.17 grams. And then lastly, Terrasol at 1%, 0.02 grams. So that's about 1 drop. I did that because a little over 1 drop, but again, I did that because I don't think the Terrasol adds much good to the scent. I think it really needs to be kept super low. It makes it a little more different. So I put it in there. It is, I would say, a little bit better with the Terrasol, but you just want to keep it low. Yeah, that totals at 4.892 grams at 2.01% concentration. The rest ethanol. And so yeah, let's get into making it.